Need to wait for everybody to get this up and going, but so I don't have to repeat myself 100 times. Anyone still not have this lab open? Raise your hand if you need more time to get the lab open in front of you. Okay. Do you have a pass in Securely? So they didn't write you a pass? All right, Josh, if you write your pass now, you should be able to go. So Jackson, I need you to open up lab 2. You're going to get a Google sheet in front of you. This lab is due before the end of the period. Jackson, give me a thumbs up when you got it open. So, okay, you're good. Do you have lab 2 open as well? Okay. Oh, the other thing I want you to open, you remember yesterday we finished the Graphing with Google Sheets activity? Open up that document as well. It should auto approve. Open up the Graphing with Google Sheets activity that we did yesterday and finished. Remember, I didn't check it. You just have it there. This way you can go between the 2 tabs, your 2 Chrome tabs, to look at the graphs and the questions, the answers to the questions, to help you with this activity. Okay. You good here now, or are we still waiting? Okay. Give me a thumbs up when you have this open, please. Good? Okay. So, folks, take a look at this Google Sheet, the lab that's due today. You'll see at the bottom of the Google Sheet, there are 4 tabs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then another tab labeled Analysis. So 5 tabs total. Yes? You can scroll through those yourselves. Okay. Go back to tab 1. On tab 1, you'll see that there is a data table with time values and distance values. Your task on this tab is to create a graph using the proper technique that we learned when we did Graphing with Google Sheets, that activity that goes with this data table. And you'll put the graph over here to the right of the table. You're going to do the same thing in table 2, the same thing on tab 3, the same thing on tab 4. Each graph should be constructed using the proper technique that we learned the other day, and it also needs the equation for the trend line that you're choosing. Once you get those done, please listen up before you start doing anything so you don't miss the directions. Once you finish all 4 of those graphs, you then go to the Analysis tab. And as it says at the top of the sheet, let me make this a little bigger. At the top of the sheet, it then tells you to answer the following questions for each of your graphs, and your answers are going to go in the shaded cells. These are the shaded cells here, the ones that are in yellow. Each question that you are answering, the first question is you are answering is, what is the shape of the graph that you constructed? We know what the shapes are from our notes. If you need your notes to answer these, fine. You can also look at the Graphing with Google Sheets activity where we did our shapes and so forth. Then the second question you need to answer for each graph is what relationship exists between the independent variables on that graph. Name the relationship. Now, if the graph is a straight line, then you're going to answer question 3A and 3B. If your graph happened to be curved, then you should be writing NA for your answers to 3A and 3B. Question 3A is, according to the equation that Google Sheets gave you, what is the slope of the graph including units? We did something like that yesterday with our Graphing with Google Sheets activity. 3B is, what's the y-intercept from the equation that Google Sheets gave you, including the units. And you'll see that it gives you spaces here in yellow for graph 1, graph 2, graph 3, and graph 4. Once you have done all of that and you've checked your work, you then can submit it. And then I'll start grading it. I want to wait for everybody to finish lab 2 before we start lab 3. My expectation is we will start lab 3 at the start of next period, unless everybody zooms through this lab and they're done early. When you finish this, you can, of course, work on the review, which is due Tuesday next week, okay? While we wait for everybody to finish up this lab before we start lab 3. Sound good? Any questions on what you need to do? All right, go ahead and get to work. This is an individual thing. I am not helping you unless you really need it. Call me over if you really need the help. I'll put some notes up here in terms of what you need to do. Remember, if you're not sure what your graphs need, you should be looking back at the Graphing with Google Sheet activity that we completed yesterday, so you can check that your graphs have all of the same features.